To our community workshop on the revised new One Paseo project. My name is Daniel Isofano with MIG. We are urban planners and environmental planners, and we were asked by Kilroy to assist in this new version of the One Paseo project. There's a whole new team on board, and I'll have James William from Kilroy talk about that momentarily, but I did want to add my welcome to all of you for coming this evening. We know this has been a difficult project and issue for the community, given the history and all that's been said and stated and discussed and debated. And we're here to start with a fresh approach and really use your input from this evening and from the process ahead to shape a new project proposal. And so we really are coming in with a new approach, a new team, and hopefully a new and better project will emerge as a result. We do have a comment card. Most of you have been looking at that, and in addition to the boards around the room and the sticky dots, which you can use to express your likes and dislikes and preferences, anytime you write your comments in here is very helpful to the project design team. And we do read each and every one of these, and it becomes part of the record for the meeting and for this community process. Plus, we are making a videotape just to make sure we get everything captured here in the presentation, and all of that will end up on our project website. We do believe in a transparent approach here, and we are keeping track of notes and meeting agendas and presentation materials as we go along. I did want to, again, encourage you to fill in the comment booklet, to check out all of the different stations here around the room. That's the primary reason we're doing this meeting tonight, and it's part of a series of meetings that we'd like to tell you a little bit more about in the course of this evening. You already know about the topic stations. We'll highlight those here in the course of the presentation. And as we say, your input is very important to us. You can check us out on the website address that's right here, onepaseo.com, and then continue this dialogue. Now I'd like to introduce James William, who's Vice President of Real Estate with Kilroy here in San Diego, and he'll explain more of the details on the project. James?
Thanks, Daniel. I was told last time that I didn't hold the microphone close enough. So if you can't hear me, throw something at me or raise your hand or something. Actually, don't throw anything at me. I'm James William. I grew up here in North San Diego County. My family moved here in 1983, and actually grew up with a dad who wasn't too keen on development, and now I'm with what I'm doing. But we appreciate you all being here and taking time out of your busy schedules to give us this feedback. We have like Daniel was saying, we kind of hit the reset button. We have a new team on board, and we're excited to create a One Paseo project that everybody can be proud of in the community. So that's why we're here today, and we hope that we can get your feedback. To start with, just want to talk about the process that has led us to where we are today. We have acknowledged from early discussions about the site that a mixed-use project was desired by the community, the right mix of retail, office, and residential. And the previous project was approved by the City Council, and as you know, we went through a process where those approvals were challenged, and we decided to rescind those approvals and reached an agreement with members of the community who represented many of your interests. We're sure not all of your interests, but many of your interests. And we were able to move forward to where we are now based on a set of parameters that is informing the decision that we're moving forward with. So the new parameters for this new One Paseo is, again, that there's a balanced mixed-use project that reduces project by nearly half, and there's a corresponding reduction in building heights and bulk and scale as a result of that reduction in traffic. And also, we assured that there will be an increase in setbacks around the perimeter of the site to 30 feet, and a moving from 2 signalized intersections on Dummer Heights Road to 1, which again, based on this reduction in traffic, we'll be able to accommodate. We know that it was a major concern. There are also other off-site improvements that were of concern that as a result of this reduction in traffic, we believe that we'll be able to mitigate many of those things and hopefully have good discussions with the city to help them understand and to share with them the reasons why that should happen. Our planning process, as you can see here, our goal is to get through this process by the end of this year, and we've formed a working group that has helped kind of kick off this community engagement process that is comprised of members of the community, in addition to representatives of the parties that were the parties to the settlement agreement, as well as 3 members of the Carmel Valley Planning Group, the Price Main Street, Donnie Schreiber, the owner of the shopping center across the street. And we've had 2 working group meetings, which is sort of depicted on this wall over here, or on this board over here. And that has informed us in the way we were going to move forward through this engagement process. That's what led us to where we are today. And they'll continue to be involved as we really consume all the information that has been provided us today. It's great actually looking and seeing all the feedback on the boards. So those are the next steps. The main topics that we've laid out for discussion, you can see here are the first one was community character, which hopefully you've had a chance to weigh in. We do want a project that fits in with the community, and your feedback on what that means and its relationship to the adjacent uses, and that's important to us. So first thing was community character, and then we want to get your thoughts on the open space and leisure space and gathering areas, around the site perimeter as well as the edges. We know that there are thoughts on ways to articulate the architecture and provide the right feel, the right space. There's thoughts about a promenade, that can be very pedestrian friendly with a lot of dining and shopping options integrated with the project. So getting your thoughts on those, as well as in addition to the public spaces, the public open spaces, making sure that there's the right set of amenities for the residences that will be on site. That's also something we want your thoughts on. Landscaping. We know that the community is interested in trees. We love trees as well. Want to make sure that they're the right trees, both from a drought tolerance perspective as well as providing the right look and feel. There's some examples here, not only the trees but also the plants and the style of landscape architecture and how we can design the right feel that you think fits in with the community and that you think would work well with the project. And then we'll talk about, if you haven't already, the architecture of the project as well. So sorry, I think I skipped ahead. We have a lot of plants. You like plants? There you go. So architectural strategies, how the buildings are massed together, their articulation, their relationship with each other, how they're perceived from the outside looking in and the inside of the project looking out. All of those things we'd like to get your thoughts on. Roof lines, window lines, relationship between uses, all these things are part of this process. So hopefully you've been able to, if you haven't, meet with Ramon, our architect. Where's Ramon at? Ramon, can you raise your hand? There's Ramon. With 5+ Design, also Jeffrey is with Ramon. In fact, where's the rest of our project team? Everybody raise their hand. You guys can look around the room. There's a few people here to answer your questions. And hopefully you can take advantage of them being here. They're excellent in their respective fields. Also, we took a look at the site analysis, right, of the adjacent land uses, the wind patterns, the sun patterns. We kind of started from scratch and taking a step back with the new architect. It was important to understand the space that we're dealing with here. And we also, with our working group, we took a look at, just from a kind of a bubble diagram perspective, this was the way that they identified potentially laying out the site with residential near residential, and office near office, and retail, and open spaces, and again, like your thoughts, if that makes sense to you, if you see it working some other way. We have a station over here that talks about our the traffic mitigation that was required as part of the previously approved project, and we'd like to know what your main concerns are related to that, the mitigation that was imposed on the prior project, and as a result, again, of the reduced number of trips, we think that, you know, there could be some things to discuss there and hopefully to modify. And it also, we go back one, we also want to get thoughts for the broader community as well, not just right here adjacent to the site. We understand that there's impacts in surrounding communities, so we want to get that feedback as well. And then lastly, again, on the traffic, two things. So part of the settlement agreement referenced the reduction in trips and a method for calculating that, which allowed us to get to where we are today. So a reduction by approximately half of those trips, which again has a corresponding impact on the rest of the project and how it lays out. The exact mix of uses is still to be determined, but there are trips associated with the different uses that can help inform that decision. And then there were community benefits that were associated with the prior project. We'd like to get your thoughts on, you know, what are the priorities for you as you look at what was associated with the prior project, and they can help inform the next steps of the process. So again, thank you so much for being here. We do appreciate it. We know that this is important to you, it's important to us, and we look forward to this new chapter for One Paseo. I'll turn the time back over to Daniel.
Great, thank you, Jameis. And